Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to Getting Personal with Parkinsons, a Facebook Live conversation series here from the Marlene Meyerson JCC Manhattan. I'm Whitney Chapman. I'm the programming and production manager for the Marlene Meyerson JCC Manhattan Edmund J. Safra Parkinson's Wellness Program that has been supported by New York's largest healthcare provider, Northwell Health. For over 14 years, the JCC has been hosting programs for individuals living with Parkinson's, and you can find out about these programs on our website by visiting www.mmjccm.org/Parkinsons, and we'll put the link below in the comments section for you. Before we get started, I have a favor to ask. Would you be so kind as to look at the bottom of your screen and you'll see a share button? And if you could click on that button and share it with friends, people on your Facebook page, that would be terrific. We would appreciate the help of letting people know about this conversation as well as other programs. And if you find it meaningful, that's a great way to provide support for us. So this program, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, is to put a face to people living with Parkinson's, to help people who are diagnosed, family, friends, anyone who is impacted by Parkinson's, to give you a resource of opportunities to learn and listen and share. We want this conversation to be meaningful to you. So if you have ideas about things we should cover or individuals we should talk about, please let us know. You can reach me at wchapman@mmjccm.org and email me your ideas. We really welcome your input and we want to make this a value for you. So for today's episode, I'm really excited to introduce to you Miriam Bram. Now, some of you who have been with us may remember meeting her last year. She was our first interview of this program, and we're excited to have her back. Miriam was diagnosed in 2008 at the age of 44 with early onset Parkinson's. Her diagnosis has led her on a journey that she wasn't expecting into advocacy, where she is now an ambassador to the World Parkinson's Congress. She's an author of a blog, Shaking Up Parkinson's, as well as a wife, a mother, and someone just actively living her life. Miriam and I had a chat last week that we pre-recorded, and I want to share it with you now. So after the conversation, I'll be back to try to answer any questions you may have. So as you're watching, please put any questions or comments you have in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to see you after the show. Hi.
Hello.
So great to see you. I can't believe it's been almost a year since we spoke with you. Actually, Caroline spoke with you.
Yeah.
So first, let me just check in. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing very well. I'm happy to say. And I've been keeping up with my exercise and doing a lot of, I'm really excited to get outdoors to do some walking and coming up for the Unity Walk. I'm getting ready for that. And I'm really excited about the advocacy and unity that's been going on in the Parkinson's community.
Now, you created a blog since we last spoke, or it was really picked up since we last spoke. Fill us in about that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've been writing for about 10 years. I was diagnosed I'm in my 14th year, and it was in 2008. And I began writing as a way of working out and kind of my feelings about having Parkinson's. And it became something that I did on a regular basis. And I would read other people's stories and get very inspired by what they're going through and also could relate to it. So I decided that after writing a number of stories about my experiences and my reflections, that I would like to have a blog so that I could be a resource to other people in the community. And so I started shakingupparkinsons.com. And it really is a place that houses my blogs. And I've written about like six to eight of them since I launched in October.
Yeah, I've read many of them, and I will say they're extraordinary and really thought-provoking. And I appreciate the honesty with which you share information. As someone who doesn't live with Parkinson's but works with individuals, I have found what you've written insightful and helpful for me to better understand how I can work with my students and colleagues and clients, as well as a resource to be able to say, hey, did you check this out? So keep writing.
Thank you. It's also on the flip side, it's very healing and transformative to write your story because you can change it and it evolves over time. It's great for everybody to do. But I also have found that the feedback I've gotten from people without Parkinson's is that they can relate to some of the themes because they're universal. Everybody has challenges.
April is National Parkinson's Awareness Month. You mentioned the Unity Walk, which in New York City is going to be happening on April 23rd. Fill us in.
Okay. Well, it's a really exciting time because I'm involved with a campaign that PD Avengers is doing called the Spark. And it's very exciting. They've created the lightning bolt as the new international symbol for Parkinson's. And they've given us, well, everybody in the community, a toolkit to use to promote the day. And there's something very exciting about knowing that there's a global alliance of people that are behind this. And it's very empowering to have that lightning bolt, which in talking about having a spark that to increase awareness of Parkinson's and help get funding and break the stigma.
I did an interview with Larry Gifford, who is the founder, one of the co-founders.
I watched that.
If you haven't seen it, you can check that out on our YouTube channel. It's a really uplifting and inspiring conversation.
Larry is very inspiring.
And if you don't know about PD Avengers, it's a wonderful organization to check it out. And I'll put that information in our chat, below in the comments section. So one of your skills or talents or notorieties, if I may say that, is you are an ambassador to the World Parkinson's Congress. For people who may not have watched our episode with you a year ago, fill us in. How did you get to be an ambassador? What is the World Parkinson's Congress? Okay. Why do we need to know about it?
Okay. Well, I'll start with what is the World Parkinson Congress. It's a global conference where they pull together scientists and clinicians, anybody serving the Parkinson's community, whether it be nurses or people in rehab or physical therapists or fitness trainers and people with Parkinson's. The goal is to have a great deal of collaboration among all those constituents. And there's so much going on at these conferences, from presentations from top scientists who are making medical breakthroughs, what the latest treatment care options are, how people are living well with Parkinson's. And it's just a very unique experience to be with people from all over the world. And it takes place every 3 years and it's in a different city. So the way I got involved is I went to, after 8 years of being diagnosed, I finally decided that it was time to step out into the world and build some community. And I went to the Congress in Portland, Oregon, and then it was my first exposure to like the larger community, and it was very inspiring. And it made me feel less alone and part of a bigger force. And I then went 3 years later to Kyoto. And after Kyoto, I really decided that I wanted to become an advocate, a Parkinson's advocate. And one of the things that sparked that, to use the word spark, there was a young onset Parkinson's workshop. And I just felt like so connected. Everybody was below 50 or below 60, but had gotten Parkinson's earlier, like 40s or younger. And I just felt like I could really relate to these people because we all had a lot of energy. We were young, we had families, some had jobs. And that made me feel like there was a group that I could really relate to and build a community with. And then I applied for my ambassadorship and I received that in January of 2020. And originally this this conference was supposed to be in 2022, June of 2022, but given the pandemic, they decided to change it to July of 2023. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting my fellow ambassadors. There are 15 of us.
Wow. The Congress, I should say, is really a unique setting. I'm not aware of any other gathering that is medical professionals, lay people,
Yeah.
people living with the diagnosis or the condition, and support systems around it. I think it's a really unique, one of a kind experience, because normally there's medical conversations, there's, caregiver conversations, there's as a fitness professional, there's conferences that we go to that are just for us. But what a unique opportunity to have all these voices intermingling.
Yeah, and I think that's critical to their goal, is they feel like the more the people living with the disease can interact with the scientists and the physicians, the more the collaboration can yield very strong results that can influence what they decide to do research on based on what people are experiencing. And Michael J. Fox Foundation does that very specifically. It's something called Fox Insight, where you periodically answer questions about your symptoms and how you're doing and what you're experiencing over time. And they're using that for a larger study. You can go to the WPC2023.com, and that's the website that houses all the information. But anybody can go. You just have to register and pay a registration fee, which is usually around $300 or $400. But that information will come out this summer. And they call us delegates. People that come as people with Parkinson's are called delegates of the Congress. And you just have to really sign up and make sure you can get your airfare and hotel, and be prepared to be there for 4 or 5 days. So the conference is 3 days, and there's an initial day that's a pre-Congress day that gets you ready for what's to come. They're long days. They go from 8 to 6:30, and they're packed with activity. Like, they're packed with great presentations, like larger presentations, and then smaller workshops and round tables. But then you also have an opportunity to do different areas of fitness and different modalities like Reiki, but they have boxing and dance, and it really introduces you. They even have ping pong, because there's a big ping pong community. Are you aware of that? The ping
I am. It's just starting to come into New York City. We don't have it here at the JCC yet, but yeah.
Ooh, that would be something exciting for the future. I went to one a few weeks ago, but I haven't been back because I've been traveling, but I'm definitely going back for more. It was so much fun.
And so you've mentioned that it's a lot of time in, there's the 3 days that are jam-packed.
Yeah.
How did you manage that as a person living with Parkinson?
They actually prepare the local community and the hotels that the delegates are staying in for what Parkinson's is, and to be prepared for like how to treat, what to expect, and what from people with Parkinson's and what their needs are. For Kyoto, I participated in the buddy system, and it's simply a survey that you fill out that gives you details of what your age is, what your lifestyle is like, what your hobbies are, what your sports that you do, anything. It gives you a number of questions about your lifestyle, and it matches you with somebody close to your age that has common interests. And then I did this for Kyoto, and I met a really lovely Japanese lady who is my age, and we hit it off. We stay in touch to this day, 2 years later. And her daughter and husband were volunteering there, and they totally took me under their wing. And it was a beautiful thing. And we made it feel less lonely. It was really a nice way to connect and have common ground. And we ended up seeing each other. They lived in Tokyo, and when I went to Tokyo after the conference, they took me around and we had meals together. And then they came to New York a few months later, and I took them to the JCC to do a NIA class. And I had them over for dinner with my family, and it was
Oh,
really great. So I highly recommend that as it's a definite to do.
and that sounds fabulous. I would love to do it. It reminds me of when I was a kid, we would have pen pals. Remember back in
Yeah,
the day when you would write
yeah,
letters to someone and you'd have a pen pal? Um, and my sister actually years later met her grade school
really.
pen pal, which was really cool.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
terrific.
That's,
I
but that
think
sounds like a wonderful way to um, make going to such a big thing a little less scary.
it's a little more personal, and it's nice to have somebody to go to the different presentations with and have lunch with, and just have a common bond. Like isolation is really common among people with Parkinson's, and it's
Right.
very, can be very detrimental and causes anxiety and depression. And I think there's a lot to be said about building a network and a community. Like I have a women's group that I joined, and it's all been virtual because of COVID, but it's just nice to be able to talk about some of the symptoms you have and share ideas for living a better quality of life. And I think also what you can get out of going to this conference is to become inspired to be an advocate, because I think it brings a lot of meaning into your life when it makes you feel like you're doing something constructive.
How did it change your life?
Well, I went from being isolated and kind of focusing on my kids and my family, but dealing with this heavy load on my shoulders alone, to feeling like I was part of a larger community, that there was a big advocacy push, and it made me feel empowered to become an advocate. That was the biggest change. And that I could learn and have at my fingertips the latest scientific research. I could learn about how people are getting treated, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis to exercise and get support like physical therapy. I just felt very much in that I was having knowledge, and knowledge is power, and it feels like you can do something about it. And I also met a lot of people that I have a support group, and I just became more engaged in life, and I feel like I have some meaning and purpose.
You had mentioned to me some other ways that people can get
Yes.
involved with
Yeah,
the World Congress, the
there's,
Parkinson's Tulip Project
yes.
and the photo campaign. What are they?
The Parkinson's Tulip Project is, it's going to become an exhibit where what you do is you take a picture of yourself with real tulips or painted tulips or any format that you want to choose, or however you want to design the photo. It would be you with tulips, which is the symbol, the international symbol of Parkinson's, the flower of Parkinson's. And you take a picture with tulips in any creative way, and you send it in on their homepage. And it's going to be actually designed into like a structure, or like a not a statue, but a sculpture. It's going to be a
Okay.
sculpture showing the power of the breadth and depth of the Parkinson's community globally. And it's
Wow.
supposed to be visually very powerful to show that we're a big community, and we're going to make changes when it comes to treating Parkinson's and finding a cure. So that way I encourage everybody to send in a photograph. It's fun. The other thing that you mentioned was the photo campaign that the World Parkinson Congress is doing. In that case, you take a photo of yourself with a sign that says, that you can decorate it in any way that says "See you in Barcelona, WPC," however you want to word it, but it has to have Barcelona and WPC 2023. And you take a picture of yourself with it, and they'll put it on their website and potentially in their e-newsletters. It's just a way to get people excited about the Congress. And there's also some fun stuff that they're doing, like they have monthly raffles. When you submit your tulip picture, you can be eligible to win a free registration or other
Wow.
hats and t-shirts WPC, the Parky mascot, stuffed animal. I know somebody that won a free registration, actually.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah.
That'd be very nice.
Yeah. What I'm most excited about is to meet my other 14 ambassadors who I've been working with since January of 2020, and really having camaraderie and meeting them in person and feeling the energy. Because we're all over the world. There are people from the UK, Australia, Ireland, the US, Canada. So we're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
And our role is to think globally, but act locally. And also being able to our part of our job is working at the conference, and we're going to be there to answer questions and educate other participants and the other delegates and advocates, and to really just interact with people in the community and see what kind of excitement and progress is being made. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
And before we go, let me just ask, is there anything else we need to know you want to share?
It's World Parkinson's Awareness Month, and there's going to be a lot of exciting information out there on social media with the new campaign, the Spark campaign. I'm really excited to see where that goes. But I hope everybody considers coming if it's something that you think is feasible for you. I think you won't ever look back, and you'll just have more richness in your life around the Parkinson's community.
Well, thank you so much. They got a good ambassador. I can tell you that. They've
Thank
got
you
a
so
great
much.
ambassador in you. Thank you for all the information. And like I said, we'll put it all in the comment section below, and you can reach out. I'll include Miriam's contact in case you have specific questions about being an ambassador or the Congress in general. And of course, here at the JCC, we have lots of activities happening this month in April for National Parkinson's Awareness Month. We have our free trial of classes that is starting this week, April 11th through the 15th. You can come into the building and sign up for classes. We also have the Unity Walk. We have a team that will be doing the Unity Walk, and we'll see you at the Unity Walk, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you can find that information below. So
Mhm.
keep writing. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to add that the WPC will have a booth, as will PD Avengers, at the Unity Walk. So if anybody wants to come and get more information on the Congress, they will be there.
Oh, terrific. Terrific.
So we'll see you at the walk for sure.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me back.
My pleasure. Wow. Well, today is National or World Parkinson's Awareness Day. So I can't think of a better conversation to have shared with you all today. There's so much that is out there and available. The JCC's programs are a part of what we want to offer to the world in terms of supporting those living and thriving with Parkinson's, as well as their families. We do have a Unity Walk that will be coming up April 23rd, as I mentioned. You can join our team. We are called the Invincibles, and we would love to have you walk with us. You get a free t-shirt. You'll meet some wonderful people in the New York City area and beyond. And the information about that is below. In addition to the free week of classes that we're offering starting this week, our spring season of programming will be hybrid this year, which means those of you that live in the New York area and want to come into the building and be in person, we'd love to have you. Those of you that prefer to work at home, or maybe you're outside of the New York City area, you can still join us virtually on Zoom. Those classes will begin the week of April 25th. So the information about that is below in our comments section. Next month, May 9th, we will be meeting with Orit Greenberg. She is a speech pathologist, and she's going to share with us how important speech pathology can be as a tool to managing Parkinson's. In the meantime, happy World Parkinson's Day, happy Parkinson's Awareness Month, and have a great day. See you soon.